My ninjas, what is good? Today is the day. We got the P5 collab in just a little over half an hour at the time of making or recording this video. So while I wait, I'm here with chat. We're going to be diving headfirst into all the Persona Girls kits. Going to be checking out their, starting off with their motion demonstrations as always. But yeah, without wasting any further of your time, let's dive in. It pains me so much that we did not get the English VA for these guys. And I don't know why, since would it have been that hard to get them? Now our girl is not thick in the slightest. She is stiff, ain't not no jiggle, but we love Makoto anyway. Plus she look good. Okay. Bruh. Bah, 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 bah. I definitely feel like they did a good job with the art style. Boom, boom, boom. Damn, that's all for the burst animation? They could have did a lot more with that, I feel like. But all right. It still look good. Oh shit, they did the thing where when in the Persona game, typically when you would strike at an enemy's weakness, the character's like eyes would flash across the screen. Like it would look so cool. Very, very awesome. All right, let's dive into Makoto's skill. Haley Faxon says the synergy I hear is crazy good. That's what I heard. We about to dive into it. Zay says, I gotta hope luck is with me for one temple. You got this, Zay. Lock in, my boy. But anyway, okay. Queen Makoto Nijima, the strategist of the Phantom Thieves of Heart, is an burst 3 fire cold shotgun attacker. And let's see, her skill 1, Persona Johanna, activates at the start of battle. Activate self, Persona Johanna. This effect is continuous and cannot be removed. Function, Queen strengthens herself using her persona. Effect 1, nuke boost. Elemental advantage attack damage is up by 13.59% continuously, and this effect cannot be removed. And then effect 2, defense master. Defense is up by 14.78% continuously. This effect cannot be removed. That elemental attack damage bonus, that's pretty good. There's not really too many characters off the top of my head that actually boosts that elemental attack damage. So yeah, that's a good buff. The defense is kind of whatever. For those who don't know, defense does not contribute much of anything, if anything at all, when in the Nikke damage formula. Is almost to the point where it could be considered non-existent at times. But yeah, activates at the start of battle, and when full burst ends, activates or affects self. Attack is up by 50.28% for 15 seconds. So that's good. That means if you have a really good team that can fast cycle burst, this attack buff is basically permanent, because at the start of battle, you go into burst super quick. Burst then lasts for 10 seconds. Then you have that 5 seconds of that attack buff to get back in the full burst and continue. So that's very, very good. Activates when one more takes effect. Now, I believe one more is something we'll get to later, so we'll come back to this skill. Affects all enemies. Deals 548.99% of final attack as distributed damage. Now, final attack, as I've mentioned before, it is very good. It will take into consideration everything contributing to your attack stat, meaning any buffs you getting from your supports, your OL lines, everything is going to be taken into account for that final attack. And then as for distributed damage, for my either new players or people or Persona players coming into Nikke for the collab, distributed damage basically means that if there are 10 enemies on the screen, that 548% of final attack will be split amongst all enemies evenly. And if it was just one enemy, which is most boss scenario and boss cases, that that boss will be hit for that full amount, as long as they are the only one on the screen. And then activates when follow-up takes effect, which is, I believe follow-up is something else we will get to later in the kit. Affects all enemies. Again, gives 548.99% of final attack as distributed damage. So she's going to be hitting hard with that skill 1. All right, moving on to her skill 2. All right, skill 2, Fist of Justice. Activates at the start of battle, affects self. Attack damage up by 30% continuously. Now that's pretty good. For those who don't know, attack damage is like the best type of buff you can get because it is the final calculation of the final multiplier of the damage formula. So that is very, very good. Activates when using burst skill, affects self. Fist of Justice. This effect is continuous and cannot be removed. Function: Queen strengthens herself. Effect 1, Nuke Amp. Elemental advantage. Attack damage is up by another 25.56%. Again, just a nice elemental damage buff. Again, next to attack damage, that's probably like either the first or second best way to buff up your damage is through elemental damage, because in most case scenarios you want to match up element weaknesses and like strengths. So yeah, very good. And then Raku Kaja, willing to bet y'all didn't know I could pronounce that. Defense is up by another 17.95% continuously, and this it cannot be removed. Deactivate condition when full burst ends. Okay, so these two buffs are only temporary while you're in full burst or using burst skill. Now, again, elemental damage, solid, good, great, amazing. That defense is, again, whatever. But I do kind of like how they're really sticking to the theme, because Nuke Amp and Raku Kaja were both two abilities Makoto could get in her skill set. So that's kind of cool that they incorporated that fact. And activates when entering burst stage 3, affects self. Distributed damage is up by 90% for 10 seconds. Now, the wording on this is a bit different. So for this buff, to get this buff, you don't have to use her burst skill. You just have to enter burst stage 3. And she will get this buff regardless, no matter who ends up bursting. And then activates when one more takes effect, affects all standard burst 3 allies except the skill user in the persona state. Baton Pass. Okay. Attack damage up by 35% of the skill user's attack continuously, stacking up to 3 times. Now, Makoto is an attacker, so she's going to have a high base attack, because this didn't say final attack, just said attack. So it's going off her base attack. But again, that's a lot of attack because she's an attacker, and it stacks up to 3 times. So that's almost what? That's like 105% attack boost she's going to get when you stack up. And then her burst skill, Mafredidon. I think I pronounced that right. She's a 40-second burst, which is typical for burst 3 attackers. Affects all enemies. Deals 1,421.69% of final attack as distributed damage. And then activates if a win co-enemy is present. Affects self 1 more. So attack is up by 30% for 10 seconds. So if we go back to our skill 1, this is how you get at least the first part of this part of this skill down here. The activates when hit 1 more than that 548% of final attack distributed damage. That's how you get that. Now, I assume this follow-up attack will be something you may get from Yukiko. From what I hear, they are meant to be very strong together, and they synergize very well. But overall, Queen looks to be like a pretty good, or not even pretty good, a good, great attacker. And she's fire code 2, which in this case would be good, since fire has kind of fallen off, because most of our meta fire units are starting to fall off, or I should say fire units that used to be meta are starting to fall off. So yeah, she looks like a strong contender to be a very good fire code unit. But yeah, my ninjas, that is all I got for you. Queen looks incredibly strong. I can't wait to pull up. We're going to be doing the Ultimate Queen Showcase when she goes live in, 20 minutes? But if you enjoyed the video and want to see more, you already know what to do. Be sure to slap that like and subscribe button right in the bare cheek 1 time. Just like how you want to slap Makoto here, right in the bed cheek one time. Leave me a comment telling me if you're pulling for Makoto. And until next time, ninjas, roll out.